My hope for digital theatre is that we come together as an Australian performing arts platform and that people are seeing it as an extension of their experience of the live.
Seeing Melbourne and Melbourne Theatre Company having these recorded live performances, I think there's a great sense of pride.
I think the benefit of filming live theatre is, above everything else, accessibility.
Access has been obviously very important to the philosophy of Melbourne Theatre Company to obviously reach as many people as we can. We've been doing it through our education programs, our access programs and our touring programs through regional Victoria and Tasmania. Digital theatre was obviously our next step, and the platform provides us with a vehicle to reach as many people as we can. We want to reach people who are socio and economically disadvantaged, but we also want to reach people not only in regional Victoria but around the country to give them the experience that we enjoy so much. Digital theatre was something that we wanted to really accelerate post-COVID and really invest in to bring what we think is world-class theatre from Melbourne Theatre Company to a much broader audience.
I know that I have this great sense of pride seeing the quality of the recording and seeing it on par with live performance around the world and stories around the world, and hoping to enlarge the canon of Australian stories.
It addresses regional needs and accessibility issues, and it also, surprisingly, doesn't stop people coming to the theatre after they've seen it online.
And so when hearing about this now with the Melbourne Theatre Company doing digital theatre and live performance on screen, it was so exciting to see that become an opportunity not only for the company and for the audiences of Melbourne and Australia, but also potentially the world. You know, we were in Berlin and a new work that was performed for 5 weeks in 2021. And so to hear people writing or through social media saying, I saw you on digital theatre, I got to see the show, I couldn't see the show live, but I saw it and really enjoyed the performance.
You know, in terms of theatre, it is a big undertaking to film a production, you know, and we've been fortunate enough to partner with our colleagues over at the Arts Centre to do this, but we feel that the access part of it, the introduction to theatre is worth that.
My name is Lillian Yao. I'm a multi-camera director with the Arts Centre Melbourne broadcast and digital team. So I prep the script as much as I can, according to what I've seen on this in person, reaction from the audience, the archive record that we get given by MTC. And I try to sort of picture in my head where the cameras are positioned and what angle they can give me. Quite often on the day when we're in our camera rehearsal, I'm making lots of changes because it's like, that camera angle is not working because the other actor's now blocking the frame and I have to choose another one, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of adjustments that get made throughout the whole process, even into the edit. Then I begin my post-production planning of just going through the script, looking at the archive record, coming and watching a show with my director assistant, having a chat with the crew about my thoughts of like where the camera's going to be, who's going to capture what, some of the key moments to look out for. And then I also meet with the show director and get their thoughts about what they expect for me to capture on screen, as well as, and I'll ask some questions as well of like, okay, this bit, there's a lot going on, so who's really telling the story, what's the priority? And yeah, it's a good sort of time to really understand from their point of view how they sort of visualise their show on screen.
It was only when I began conversations with Lillian Yao that I began to think about what shots would be best and how I could adapt what we'd created to meet the screen.
Yeah, directing live is, you can plan as much as you can, but the actor's energy, performance and audience reaction, response, that kind of thing, that just happens at the moment. And sometimes you just have to throw your plans out the window and just go with what's happening. And I'm sort of really honoured that, you know, our team has been able to be part of this experience, having, you know, the precinct partnership with Arts Centre and Melbourne Theatre Company and just working together to make art accessible. And that's a beautiful vision that we all share.